There are a few jobs in the country that invite more scrutiny and pressure than captain of the Australian cricket team. Today, 29-year-old Michael Clarke stepped up. Clarke's been in the media as much for his private life as his sporting career, and he joined me in the studio earlier to talk about the problems with his public image as well as his top priorities in his new role. Michael Clarke, it's the dream job for many young Australians, captaining the Australian cricket team. Congratulations.
Thanks, Leigh.
And in the same week when you turned 30, your head must be spinning a bit.
Probably getting a few more grey hairs as we speak. Yeah, look, it's been an amazing 24 hours. I guess firstly, it's an honour to have been appointed the new Australian captain, and I guess in the same breath, as much as surprise to hear that Ricky had stood down yesterday. I spoke to him just before he made the announcement. I spent a lot of time with him in the World Cup recently in India, and I had no idea that he was thinking about doing this.
Do you feel ready then to step up?
Oh, look, I think at the end of the day, you don't know you're ready until you get the opportunity. I think I've been lucky to captain Australia in the 2020 form and in a few one-dayers and one test match, and I've really enjoyed that chance, that opportunity, and I look forward to the challenges that lie ahead now. So, I guess I'll find out sooner rather than later.
So the obvious question, of course, is what are you going to do as captain to turn around the Australian team's fortunes?
Oh, look, I think to start it's about me being able to do things my way. The advantage we have is after these 3 one-days in Bangladesh, we have a couple of months at home where we can, as a group, Cricket Australia, selectors, board members, Shane Watson and myself can sit down and make a plan to build to the future. But I guess the things that come to mind straight away are I love seeing the Australian cricket team playing that entertaining brand of cricket. I think it's really important that we go back to some of that old-fashioned style basics of cricket, where we get better at our basics, batting, bowling and fielding, which is going to mean doing more of it at training. These days in cricket there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of sports science, which I think is a big part of our game, but I think with a young group we need to get better at the basics.
We've had a period in Australian cricket where some of the all-time greats were in the team at the same time: McGrath, Warne, Hayden, Gilchrist, and they've all moved on. And in any sport, teams go through cycles. Sometimes you've got a great team, sometimes not such a good team. How much does it weigh on your mind that maybe you've assumed the captaincy at a low point and that there's not that much you can do about that?
No, I don't see it that way at all. I see a lot of talent in our squad. I see a lot of talent in first-class cricket, and I believe we can continue to have success as Australian cricket team.
So why do you think it hasn't been firing so well then?
I think we've been firing in patches. We've been inconsistent. During the Ashes, we were terrible. During the World Cup, we weren't as good as we needed to be in that game, and that's the way it goes in a knockout stage of the tournament. But even through the Ashes, there was glimpses of some great individual performances. So
then I guess the question is, so why hasn't it been consistent?
Well, that's the one thing we've got to look at and look to improve.
Do you think the selectors are giving new players and young players enough time to sort of bed down and show their mettle, if you like?
I think we need to. Yeah, I think it's an important stage as a young player to be able to feel like you're going to get an opportunity. How long that opportunity is, you'll never know, because individual players play different roles in the team. Sometimes you get a chance through injury, so you might come in for one game and then go. But I think the selectors need to continue to give players that chance, but then the individual player needs to step up and grab hold of his opportunity. As
we know, Ricky Ponting's still in the team. Is it a bit like Julia Gillard still having Kevin Rudd in the squad? A little bit awkward?
I don't know what that's like.
You might be about to find out.
Yeah, well, it's right now, as in we haven't played any cricket, it's not awkward for me, or it's not. I've spoken to Ricky, like I said yesterday, it's not awkward for him. But don't get me wrong, it's going to be interesting time to see how we go when we're in Bangladesh in those 3 games. I think that's going to be a great little period for us to see how it can work. But Ricky will be judged, as he has been as captain. He'll be judged as every player is on performance. If you're scoring runs like he did in the last one-dayer in India, I certainly still think he's got a lot to offer in both forms of the game.
I presume as Australian captain, the phone must ring hot with people wanting to throw in their 2 cents worth of advice, former Australian cricketing greats. I saw a 12-year-old kid the other day giving you some advice as well. How, as captain, are you going to deal with that, with everyone sort of wanting to have their say in what you should be doing?
I don't think that changes. I think in our role as a professional athlete these days, people always have their opinion, whether that be your friends, your family, the media, the public. and everybody's entitled to that. I think it's about taking as much information, listening to as much information as possible, and then taking what you think can help you out of it. Sometimes, I guess, as an Australian cricketer, because you spend so much time in that bubble, you don't get to see what people see on the outside. So for me, I think a lot of advice or constructive advice that has helped me has been from, people outside the game of cricket that are just saying what they are actually seeing.
There's a perception out there, fairly or unfairly, that you're not popular with cricket fans. Why do you think that is?
I don't know the exact reason why that is. If I did, I would change it straight away. But again, I think it is important that as long as I'm conducting myself in the right way on and off the field, I'm confident I can earn that respect from the people that don't think, whether they don't think I'm a good leader or don't think I'm a good player. I'm confident I can earn their respect.
Looking back, would you have done anything different in terms of managing your image or your public persona that maybe could have avoided some of this? Is there anything you'd change?
I don't think so. I would, a lot of the things that are written, unfortunately, I don't have too much control of. I guess the one thing I've tried to do my whole life is be true to myself. I'm very proud of the family I'm from and how my family have brought me up. And and I still don't feel like I've changed too much as a person, to be honest. I think obviously my address from where I was born to where I live now has changed. Maybe the car I drive has changed, and maybe I've got a few more tattoos now than I had as a 10-year-old boy, but I still believe the person I am hasn't changed, and I don't think it will.
Do you feel the need, given some of what you've been through, to quarantine your private life more?
I've always wanted to keep my private life quite private. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't the case, and it's hard when you've got two people that are involved in businesses that involves the media, I guess, so it's no longer so private, but I've definitely learnt from mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life as a cricketer, as a person, and I'm certain I will continue to make mistakes. I just hope that I can learn from the mistakes I've made going forward and become a better person, I guess.
Michael Clarke, good luck in the gig. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Leigh. Thanks for having me.